A Canadian couple's US travel plans earn them a trip inside.
It was suspicious to the primary officer because they said they were going to go visit the daughter's boyfriend who lives in Ohio, and she wasn't in the vehicle. And so to him, that was odd that the family was going to go visit without her. Is your daughter down there right now as well?
She's actually still in Canada and she's working.
Her daughter didn't have any type of status in the U.S.
Outside, boxes of the daughter's personal belongings are discovered in the couple's vehicle.
It's like some photo albums. There's a bunch of her clothing. And as we look further in, there's actually just some wedding cards saying, enjoy your future. So that just leads us to believe that, you know, maybe she's not living in Canada anymore.
How do you think I should perceive this when there's stuff in the vehicle for her and mail for her?
She's been dating this guy for how long?
6 years.
I'm just trying to get the truth, okay? We're really good at getting the truth.
Yes, I know.
What's with the wedding cards?
What wedding card?
These wedding cards.
For travelers at O'Hare International Airport in Chicago, calling off the dogs is never an option,
It's okay, thank you.
especially when Frodo the Beagle is on the job.
Hi, sir. Do you have your passport and your customs paper? Frodo and I are roving passengers checking for prohibited items such as fresh fruits, plants, and meats.
And you shall not pass if Frodo sniffs out forbidden fruit.
No wonder you did a beeline. That's a lot of fruit. Let's start back at the beginning. Good dog.
Tonight, an American returning from Thailand didn't declare the bananas in her bag.
The problem is you have to know what's inside your bags when you're traveling. Any travel, especially in this day and age, with a lot of bad people trying to do bad things in the United States, you have to know what's inside,
You know what?
okay?
I don't feel people are doing bad things in the United States. I am not into that fear mode.
Okay.
Okay, I feel
However,
very safe.
because I verbally warned you about the penalty, I'm going to fine you today.
I forgot I had those bananas. They were a gift from my sister. I wasn't eating them, so I didn't connect the memory to that.
She seemed very upset. Why don't you go have a seat in the black chairs right over here? You have two options.
Hi. What's your citizenship?
At the Pacific Highway border crossing in Blaine, Washington,
Guns, mace, pepper spray, nothing like that in the car?
U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers are on the hunt for prohibited weapons.
Any handguns?
No handguns.
Tonight, a father and son returning from a hunting trip in Canada have declared firearms.
And where are the weapons all located at in the vehicle?
They're in the back seat of the vehicle in cases.
Are they locked?
Cases are unlocked, but their trigger locks are on everything.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head out to your car. I'm gonna verify the serial numbers.
Can he go and show you where the keys are?
Yeah, I'll have him walk out with me. Anybody coming into the U.S., you must declare all firearms. If you don't declare firearms, there can be some very serious consequences.
But firearms aren't all these hunters are packing. Cargo touches down at JFK International Airport around the clock.
You get a cargo plane that's full with parcels. You're gonna have maybe 15 to 20,000 parcels on that.
To keep up, a specialized team of U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers target high-risk shipments.
We look at the manifested cargo that comes in, and then go in and actually say we want to look at certain items. Yeah, these are them. Good, good.
Tonight, officers hone in on some parcels arriving from China.
DVD. We got what appears to be counterfeit DVDs from the new releases of Disney, and we'll send these to the import specialists and have them confirm that they are counterfeit.
Last year, counterfeit merchandise cost the American economy over $1 billion. Next up, a box without a declaration.
Food. This appears to be some food from China, which also comes in daily, all types of different food. But we'll also examine it, make sure that there is no narcotic in the food envelopes, which, bingo. We have an unknown white crystalline substance, possible narcotic, and we'll do a test on it. We're gonna test the sample on our Hazmat 360. It gets uploaded and it goes to the CBP lab in New Jersey. It takes very little of the substance. It goes into this infrared portion of the machine right here. Just like that. I drop the hammer and it's collecting the sample data now. That's it. Now it's just wait for the lab to send us an email back, let us know exactly what this crystalline substance is.
While they wait for the results, the officers search for more powder.
We opened up the main bag, and inside there's several packets like this. We opened up 3, and it's concealed in each smaller packet in a Ziploc bag. We've seen narcotics loaded in truck starters. We've seen them in water filters. We've seen them mixed in with cheese. It's challenging, yes it is, but the rewarding part is when you do find it.
The lab results are in.
And it appears to be ketamine.
Ketamine is a powerful anesthetic, also used as a date rape drug.
15, 18, 20, 130 packets. This is only the beginning. We don't know how many other ones that are still sitting out here. On this particular package, they're not getting their drugs. We beat them on this one.
Back at the Ambassador Bridge in Detroit,
Is your daughter down there right now as well?
She's actually still in Canada and she's working.
a Canadian couple is transporting their daughter's personal belongings, even though she isn't traveling with them.
They said they were gonna go visit the daughter's boyfriend who lives in Ohio.
So that just leads us to believe that, maybe she's not living in Canada anymore.
What's with the wedding cards?
What wedding card?
These wedding cards. The letters that the officer found in secondary stated that they'll miss her and good luck in Ohio and congratulations on your marriage.
They're married?
They're not married.
Okay.
These cards specifically say, she's moving to Ohio and everything, okay?
I've never seen these cards.
She was trying to say, no, my daughter is currently still in Canada.
How often did she cross the border?
Every 2 weeks.
When was the last time she crossed the border?
I think 2 weeks ago.
I'm gonna call Canada and I'm gonna find out if they're lying to me.
How are you guys?
In Washington State,
I'm gonna head out to your car. I'm gonna verify the serial numbers.
a father and son returning from their Canadian hunting trip declared their firearms. But what's in the back of their truck brings the examination to a head.
And then the meat's in the big cooler.
Okay, you got your tag for the deer? Does your dad have it inside? We want to make sure that it was legally obtained. Did they have a permit? Those are the things we're looking at. All right, just head on inside and I'm gonna move your truck.
But before he verifies the venison, the officer checks the duo's firearm declaration.
We're just gonna verify the serial numbers, make sure they're not stolen. So we're just gonna lay them out here. So he's got the required trigger locks. So that matches. If we get a firearm that's not matching up with their paperwork, we're gonna be asking some very serious questions.
At Chicago's O'Hare International Airport,
Because I verbally warned you about the penalty, I'm going to fine you today.
I forgot I had those bananas. They were a gift from my sister. I wasn't eating them, so I didn't connect the memory to them.
an agricultural specialist isn't monkeying around with an American who failed to declare her bananas.
Why don't you go have a seat in the black chairs right over here? You have 2 options. You can pay the fine today. It's $300 to settle at a court. Okay, if you choose to, you can go to court and attest
I'm
it.
not going to go to court for this.
So if you're going to pay today, I need to know how you're going to pay, cash or
I'm
credit.
going to pay by credit card.
Okay.
I'm not going to court for bananas.
Okay, it's going to take me 15 minutes to write up the penalty. Once I'm done, I'll come and get you, and we'll take care of it at the cashier's desk over there, okay? Just have a seat. Secondary officers had noticed her behavior and deemed her for another inspection for customs just to make sure everything in her bags was okay.
How long were you outside the United States?
2 months. Thailand,
What was purpose?
travel.
And I understand that agriculture's has looked through your stuff. I need to do an exam on your belongings, but I can have you put everything up on the table here.
The exam was already done, though.
If you can just step back a little bit from the table there.
These are all for my nutrition. Slippery elm.
It is what?
Slippery elm.
What is that used for?
Digestion, to coat your intestines.
And what is this?
Baking soda.
Thailand is one of the source countries for narcotics, heroin. So when it's in Ziploc bags, you just err on the side of caution and just do a couple little tests on them. If it turns purple, it's positive. That's not. Didn't change at all.
The tests are negative, but the traveler still has to pay for her bananas before she can split.
Whenever you get everything packed back up, we'll go over to the cashier's booth for you to settle up with a penalty. The passenger paid $300 to Customs and Border Protection today for failing to declare the prohibited items. All right, and here's your passport back, ma'am. We're all settled up.
I forget I have bananas in my bag, and I go through this interrogation process as if I'm a criminal carrying drugs. A lousy banana.
We're worried about it bringing in potential insects or plant disease with it. So we have to do our job to enforce the law and prevent this from happening in the future.
At the Ambassador Bridge in Detroit,
These cards specifically say, you know, she's moving to Ohio and everything, okay?
I'm sorry. I've never seen these cards.
officers suspect this Canadian traveler's daughter may be living in the States illegally.
I'm gonna call Canada and I'm gonna find out if they're lying to me. She was trying to say, no, my daughter is currently still in Canada. Well, we check her crossing history and it didn't match up to what she was telling me. You start being honest with me and telling me the truth of what's really going on.
She's in the States.
Okay. Are they engaged?
Yes.
Okay. So at that point, she said, okay, my daughter is in Ohio, and she's down there right now. So is she living down there now with them?
No.
Does she work in Canada right now?
She works, yes.
But once again, the cards don't lie.
I'm wishing you all the best. Thank you for your service, staff and management, which is where she used to work. So she doesn't work there anymore. So you're lying to me even more.
I didn't know. You know what? I never knew if she's quit her job.
So if you just want to continue to lie to us,
She is not married, and I've never seen these wedding cards.
I'm just gonna send you guys back to Canada.
Am I never allowed back in the States?
More than 160,000 international flights touch down at New York's JFK Airport every year.
Pasaportes en tu manos, gracias.
And all of them are on Customs and Border Protection's radar, especially those arriving from known drug source countries.
We'll try to examine as many of the passengers on the flight as possible.
Tonight, officers are checking passengers arriving on a flight from Colombia.
The flight historically has been very high risk for heroin smuggling, so we keep a close eye on it.
When was the last time you were in Colombia? 2 months ago.
Why'd you return so soon?
My job here and I live here, so I work here.
So you went twice this year?
You just buy it? The bag is new.
That's no, yeah, that's a gift for someone.
Oh, it's a gift. It had a handmade leather, like, man bag. I gotta check the little one, too. Flights out of South America are ultra high risk for drugs being secreted in handcrafted items. How much you pay for this?
$200.
US? 200?
That's the original 100% lead.
Yeah, it's all leather. Let me check. Take that off. The passenger was very anxious when we were scrutinizing the bag. I might have to put a tiny hole in this.
No.
At the Pacific Highway crossing in Washington State,
We're just gonna lay them out here.
an officer verifies the declaration of a father and son returning from a Canadian hunting trip.
So we just run checks on the firearms, to make sure they haven't been used in any crimes or reported stolen. Okay, guys, come on up.
The firearms are cool, but the officer wants to know who put the deer on ice.
If any games are being poached, then we refer that back to the Canadian officials. Who got the deer?
It was actually a buddy of mine.
A buddy of yours?
Yeah, RCMP. So he took one leg because his wife's a vegetarian.
Really? So in this case, they were hunting on private property, which in Canada, if they have permission from the owner, they're allowed to do that. I could probably make some good Mexican enchiladas with that, maybe like that. Yeah. Everything checked out, and we allowed them to proceed.
All right, thanks, appreciate it.
All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.
At JFK International Airport,
I might have to put a tiny hole in this. No.
officers are skeptical about a nervous traveler's Colombian man bag.
No hole? Then I'd take an x-ray. Radiographia. Flights out of South America are ultra high risk for drugs being secreted in handcrafted items. Just tell me if there's anything organic in this handbag. Anything good? Thank you. There was nothing suspicious. I'm gonna give this guy courtesy on it and not puncture it at all. Who did you buy this from?
We order. On the internet, whatever, you can order.
The guy seems to have a full-time job, and we didn't really see any reason why he would be having a concealment. So we sent him on his way. How you say hole in Spanish?
Hole?
Hole. Hueco? No hueco. No huecos. Today, no huecos.
In Detroit,
So if you just want to continue to lie to us.
She's not married and I've never seen his wedding cards.
officers suspect a Canadian traveler has been lying to them to hide the fact that her daughter may be living in the US.
I'm just going to send you guys back to Canada.
I never left back in the States.
They're lying to us. We're going to find out what they're lying about. If you knew she was just visiting for 2-3 weeks, you would have been, we're going to go visit my daughter who's with her fiance right now in Ohio. Tell me I'm wrong. She got to the point to where she kind of knew, okay, they know what's really going on. You guys covered for her.
You're right. I covered because she's my daughter.
Her daughter didn't have any type of status in the U.S., and so bringing her stuff in isn't allowed. We call it unaccompanied goods. We're going to refuse your entry today. Anything in that vehicle related to her cannot come into the country. As soon as they drop the goods, they can reapply for entry into the U.S. and go visit their daughter. And you should be lucky that's all we're doing today.
Okay.
Okay.
If they get married, is that an issue with me crossing the border?
Well, it's an issue with you lying to us crossing the border.
Okay, right. I should not have done that. I should not have done that.
It's when people start to lie about the facts, and then we find those facts out, that it becomes a bigger issue for us. Honesty is the easiest way to get through this process at the border. If I were you, I would suggest to her that she crosses the border, shows up here to get a visa application. If she doesn't, she's gonna have a lot harder time living in the United States.